huge tech company asked me what I thought the next big thing was going to be. I said AI. They said metaverse. I got the job offer and turned it down to learn data science instead. This was right before the AI boom hit. These are rough times for product managers. Companies are doing layoffs, people are saying our job might become obsolete, PMs in every level are starting to feel replaceable. The natural reaction? I need to upskill. But here's the thing, not all upskilling is created equal, and doing it at the wrong time can actually hurt you. Let's talk about the timing trap. Here's what I've learned. Most people upskill for the wrong reasons at the wrong time. They see the industry changing and panic. I need to learn machine learning now. Everyone's talking about this framework. I better catch up. Sound familiar? The real problem? The issue isn't that you're learning. It's that you're reacting instead of strategizing. You're letting external pressure drive your decisions instead of your own vision. When I turned down this big tech company, people asked, why would you walk away from such a great opportunity to learn something speculative? But that's what I personally find as backwards thinking. Reactive upskilling is, the market is changing, I need to catch up. While strategic upskilling is, where do I want to be in 3 years? What skills do I need to get there? The difference? One makes you feel constantly behind, while the other puts you ahead of the curve. Here's the key insight. The best time to upskill is not when you're desperate. It's when you have conviction about the future.
I know where I'm going.
There are two paths forward. First, the market-driven approach. Second one, the passion-driven approach. In the first case, you need to ask yourself the question, what is the market asking from me? You can research job postings in your dream companies. You can look at skills that are repeatedly mentioned in requirements. You can also focus on high-demand, durable skills. The pros of choosing this path: you have a higher probability of getting hired, you have a better salary negotiation power, you have a clear ROI on your learning investment, and it's easier to justify your time spent. Cons: you're always playing catch up with trends. You risk learning skills that will eventually become obsolete. You may burn out learning things that you're not interested in. You kind of become a commodity because you have the same skill that everyone else is chasing after. And finally, it's hard to stay motivated in the difficult phases of learning. Then you have the passion-driven approach. Here you think, what makes me genuinely excited to learn? Choose skills that energize you. Think long-term personal growth. Trust your instincts even when others disagree. Example, when I turned that job offer to learn data science, some people thought I was insane. Well, not some people, every person I talked to. You're walking away from a sure thing just to become a beginner again? But I had a conviction of where tech was heading, and I really wanted to have the skills that would matter in the future. What are the pros of following the passion-driven approach? Well, on the one hand, you have sustainable motivation. You're pushing through things even when they become hard. You'll likely go deeper than others are willing to do. You create a unique skill set that other people don't have. You feel more fulfilled personally, and you kind of become an expert, not just competent. The cons: you might not be aligned with current market needs. There is a longer path to monetization. Others might question your choices. There is a risk of learning something that is too niche, and it requires more faith in your long-term vision. I used to have a blog. I was describing artificial intelligence, and it was really hard for me to explain something so abstract when I didn't really know how it was implemented. I kind of felt like I was talking about something spiritual because I understood it, but I couldn't see it. And when I started learning it, suddenly started feeling so fulfilled. I was getting excited to wake up every morning to learn something new. Like, there were endless obstacles. Like, I had even issues with something as simple as installing TensorFlow. You cannot even imagine the challenges that I went through. The thing is, I was pushing through it because I wanted to make that happen. I wanted to understand. Nowadays, when everyone's freaking out about AI, when no one knows how to integrate AI into the new company, I kind of feel at peace. As everyone else, I might end up living under a bridge someday, but I know it won't be because of my lack of skills. I know it will not be because of not knowing enough to succeed on this market. Making a bet on yourself, on your career, is one of the scariest things one can do. And now knowing AI just gives me an edge that other PMs don't have. Yeah, many PMs say they know AI because they know how to prompt an LLM, but that's not an AI product manager from my perspective. That's a product manager that knows how to use an LLM. Like, I never heard anyone saying, I'm a spreadsheet PM because they are using spreadsheets. However, nowadays, using LLMs seems to turn you into an AI PM, which, to be frank, doesn't make any sense to me. The thing you need to understand is both paths can work, but you need to choose consciously, not randomly. Step 1. Get the outside perspective. Before you choose what it is that you want to learn, you need to be brutally honest with yourself about where you are now. Here's an exercise that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You need to watch yourself as if you were from the outside. You know, in these movies when there's a person who goes into a coma and they watch the whole experience, like everything that is going on, like as a ghost or some sort of spirit, where that is what you need to do with yourself. Don't worry, you don't need to put yourself into a coma. You just need to think a little bit more with your second brain and with your first brain. You just need to do some additional effort and start thinking about what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm saying? What is it that I'm trying to do? Think of a recent meeting or conversation that you had. Now, imagine you're observing it like you're watching a movie. What do you say? How is your nonverbal communication? What are you saying? How is the other person reacting to what you're saying? Are you communicating clearly? What were you trying to do in that conversation? This will give you such deep information about how it is that you handle interactions, how it is that you handle your own life. This is why you need managers. They provide perspective you cannot see when you're in the driver's seat. Step 2. Identify your future self. Think about people you genuinely admire. What is it that makes you admire them? What specific qualities make them stand out? Is it the way they speak? Is it the way they communicate a message? Is it the way that they get acceptance from the group? If they are accessible to you, ask them directly how they develop those skills. If they are aspirational, read about them, research them, understand more about their journey. Step 3. Break it down. Don't just say, I want to be like Steve Jobs. Get specific about what exactly you want to replicate. There are 2 types of skills that you could think about. There are the hard skills and then there's the soft skills. In the case of the hard skills, one example could be they are extremely data-driven. Maybe this means I need to learn SQL, I need to learn to use the analytics tools, I need to understand a little bit more of statistical thinking. If they understand users deeply, maybe I need to learn about psychology. Maybe I need to understand user research methods. If they have a great design sense, maybe you need to learn about design principles. Or maybe you need to learn how to use some prototyping tools. In the soft skills approach, we could have something like this person commands respect in meetings. What creates that respect? Is it domain expertise? Is it the way that they talk? Is it their preparation for the meeting? People trust their decisions. Is it because they have a more transparent approach? Is it because they always follow through with what they say? Is it because they admit things even when they are wrong? They make complex things simple. Is it because they use analogies? Are those the visual frameworks? Do they ask better questions? The key difference is that hard skills are learned through courses and practice, while soft skills require understanding the why behind what you're observing, and then building those underlying capabilities. Most people focus on the hard skills because they are the easiest ones to spot and to learn. However, it's usually the soft skills that make someone truly admirable. Step 4. Create your learning map. Now that you've identified the specific skills that you want to learn, you need to create your learning plan. Here's how you turn them into a learning plan. First, what's the underlying skill? If they command respect in meetings, maybe it's executive communication and domain expertise. Number 2, where am I starting from? Assume net 0. You can only go up from there. That's my personal learning approach. I don't like to say I'm a 7 and I want to take it to a 9. I always assume I'm at 0 and I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Number 3, what's the best way to learn this skill? Is it a course? Is it a mentorship? Is it practice? Is it a book? Or is it an on-the-job learning experience? An example breakdown, the quality you want to work on. They make data-driven decisions that everyone trusts. Underlying skills, statistical analysis, storytelling, and stakeholder management. My starting point, well, I'm decent at analysis, but from the storytelling perspective, I'm a net 0. Learning path, focus on data visualization tools and presentation skills first. The key insight here is don't try to learn everything at once. Pick your biggest gap that will have the highest impact. Step 5, the strategy versus execution balance. Here's where most people mess up their upskilling. They either get lost in strategy with an endless planning and no action, or they jump into execution without any direction. You just start taking courses without any kind of focus. You need both strategic thinking and tactical execution. Which brings me to why I love this Formula One analogy. I don't know if you watched the Formula One Netflix docudrama Drive to Survive, is it? In the first chapter, Ferrari has just put a bet to hire Lewis Hamilton, and basically this is gonna leave Carlos Sainz without a spot. In that specific moment, his main goal is to sell himself. He's not thinking about building something long-term, he's thinking about only winning. He needs to put himself in the shopping window. He needs to be seen by the other teams. When he's driving, he's focusing on the immediate step, on what's coming immediately after. However, his race engineer, his captain, I don't know how it's called, has the view of everything that is going on. He combined both tactical and strategy. He was focused on the driving, on the immediate term, of what was coming up next. The next turn, braking points, handling the car. On the other hand, his race engineer was focusing on the bigger picture. He could see what the competition was doing. He was checking the tire wear. He was taking care of the fuel strategy. Then he tells Carlos, push it now. He double checks, should I push now? They say yes, go for it. And in that moment, he overtakes Verstappen and makes it to position number 1. This won him P1 in that race. The engineer gave Carlos Sainz the outside perspective, while he was focused on driving and simply couldn't have that type of thinking at that moment. Here's the career parallel. When you're in your day-to-day PM work, client planning, stakeholder meetings, putting out fires, you can't see the big strategic picture of your career. You're Carlos in that car. So when can you get that outside perspective? During reflection times. In a moment when you can look at things from the outside. You're not running a race that you need to win in that day. This is a longer term race. And you can prepare for that if you take the time. Here's the problem. We don't always have a race engineer watching our careers. Most of us are driving solo. So when can you get that outside perspective? When you step back from the usual work and ask yourself, what patterns am I seeing in my career? Where are the gaps in my skill development? What would someone watching my career from the outside tell me to focus on? This is why the vision exercise matters. You're temporarily becoming your own race engineer, seeing your career from above instead of just from the driver's seat. Your upskilling decision tree. If you're reacting to external pressure, pause and ask yourself the question, what's driving this urgency? Don't start courses just because others are, and focus on your long-term vision first. If you have conviction about your direction, choose the passion path for sustainability. Choose 1 or 2 skills, not 10, and set a 6-month learning goal. If you're planning a career pivot, choose the market path initially. Then research thoroughly before committing. And finally, find mentors or people that you can talk to in your target area. Conclusion here is strategic upskilling beats panic upskilling every time. Remember, think long-term strategy, but adapt to short-term circumstances. Your goal isn't to become a Swiss Army knife of skills. It is to become exceptionally valuable at the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and what the market needs. What's one skill that you've been thinking about learning? Drop it in the comments. If this video helped you think differently about upskilling, consider subscribing.